Hello, today I'm going to show you how to make an earring and pendant set in this beautiful lotus flower design. Let's get started. We're going to cut 60 centimeters of 1 millimeter copper wire and wrap it around a shape. We need to do 8 wraps around the shape and then have two tails opposite each other, one preferably longer and one shorter. Bending both of these tails upwards at a sharp angle, they are opposite each other. Now that shorter tail is going to bind all three circles together, bend it over and wrap it around the circles, keeping them flat, don't bunch them all up, and do about 2 or 3 wraps. You don't want more than that, it'll be too wide. And once you've wrapped this wrap around neatly and bring it up together with the pliers, straighten it out, make sure there are no little snaggy bits, and tidy it all up so it's all neat and looks good. I love the way this design develops. It slowly unfolds into something beautiful. And at the beginning, you can't quite work out where it's going to. So stay with me. You'll see it's going to get interesting. Now, taking a soft tip pen, mark across, straight across that band of all the circles, opposite to where you did the wrap. So straight across the wires. And from there, you're going to use your needle nose pliers. Place the pliers onto the mark and a firm bend to the right, bending up a little kink, and then swivel the pliers over to the other side. You don't need to take them out, and another little kink to the left. And this makes that little point, which is the point of the petal. It's really very effective, and once you master it, it's not difficult to do. The secret here, and to keep it all neat, is to move the petals to the right hand side as you form the little point. So form a point and pull it over to the right. Next one, you do the same thing. Form the little point and pull it over. So you're pulling them out of the way as you do them. And I find it's easier to turn it over halfway and then start again on the underside ones or the ones at the back. It just makes it easier to do. So just working neatly and calmly, no stress. Keep moving those petals away to the right, flip it over halfway, and then carry on, bending them to the right. It's a very interesting little process, and I discovered it when I was making another piece of jewelry which was completely different. So, what do they call it? Serendipity, a happy discovery. Now, once you have done that, spend a little bit of time on adjusting all the petals so they are at equal distances. They look good. Just give it a look and see how it looks. Does it make you happy? Keep on adjusting. Even look at a few pictures of lotus flowers to get that exact shape. It's very pretty. At this stage, you can hammer the whole frame gently, and then if they have come out of alignment, you can just put those petals back into shape, tidy it up again. I do love the look of lines crossing lines to form a different pattern. It's such a magical thing. It's the beauty in Celtic drawings and how lines cross lines. And this is the same. The wires cross each other and they make another pattern. I just love it. After adjusting, I have hammered each of the ends of the petal with a metal hammer just to flatten them out not too flat, but so that they look textured, they're shiny, and it makes the piece look a little bit more professional than just a piece of bent wire. I can imagine this being made in a sterling silver wire and even a smaller one. I've made this quite large to show you as an example of how to do it. But if you miniaturize it, bringing right down to something much tinier, I'd love to see that effect as well. Now we're going to take that tail and bend it over in a loop. This is going to form the bail. You do have options to do the bail in different ways. You could do just a weave, or you could twist this and then not worry about anything else. But I think it needs a little bit of bling and tiny detail at the top. I have hammered the bail with the metal hammer just to get some shine and texture, and I think it looks good. Now cut a 30 centimeter length of 0.4 millimeter thin copper wire and feed it in to the top of the pendant so that it's hidden away, and then just the end, of course, and then begin to weave. Wrap it around, under, over, and begin a weave. And then you're going to take one of the hematite beads, feed it on so it sits in the middle of the bail. Then weave backwards and forwards a few times, under, over, across that gap, and then feed in another hematite bead and finish off. Just a little round and round wrap about 3 times should be enough. When the weave is secure, take your long pliers and bend over the tip of that bail back around against the body to form a nice bail. Now we've finished off the pendant, but wait, I'm going to show you how to make the earrings as well. I think it's turned out really well. The earrings are similar, but they're smaller and they don't have a bail, and I'll show you how to do it. Cut two lengths of 40 centimeters each of 1 millimeter copper wire and wind each one 6 times around a pin. You can see the one that I've used, and leaving tails opposite each other and one tail being shorter and the other tail being longer. This works well. So make two of these, obviously, one for each earring, and take that short tail, hold the rings together evenly, and wrap the short tail around all of the rings 2 or 3 times and secure the wire so it's neat, and just crimp it up a bit so it all lines up together. Tidy up the wires so that they all lie nice and straight and your wrap is also nice and tidy. I'm going to do more variations of these earrings because I think they look so festive and there's so many different stones you could add or different looks to them that I think they're going to be really very versatile. Make a mark across all of the rings opposite to where the wrap is. So each wire is marked so you can see where to do your pattern. Again, as with the pendant, put your pliers in on the first mark, bend it firmly to the right, swivel your pliers right over the top, and bend it very firmly to the left. And this way you're making the little petal. As you bend each little petal, take it sideways to the right, and then the next one is there in front of you. Bend that one and to the right as well, and keep going to the middle. Then I turn it over and do the same thing. It's just easier to do it both sides. When you've done that and you've made both of them, then take the nylon hammer and set those wires in place. Just a gentle tapping, not too hard, And if they're a little bit displaced, then just put them back into their original shape. Check the shape, make sure that they're all equally spaced and that you like the look of them. Now I have threaded one garnet, one sparkly bead, and one garnet on each of the tails. And you can see it's very easy to do. When you've done both of them, threaded your stones and beads, you can choose whatever you want to use here. Then you're going to bend a loop at the top of each of those above the stone or above the bead you've chosen. Bend the little loops evenly and neatly, and these you're going to thread onto your earring wires. Make sure that those little loops are neat because you don't want any little snaggy bits sticking out, and it has to look professional. So the loop, it's a tiny little detail, but it has to look good, and each one is exactly the same size. And once the earring hook is threaded on to that loop, you have a beautiful pair of earrings. I love them. They look so festive, florally. Oh, I just love these. So let me know how yours turn out as well. I would love to hear about it. Please subscribe if you'd like to see more of these tutorials and to be notified of all the new ones coming out soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.